My body's composition is determined by my genes. Hey, eyes up here.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes. Okay, let me address the elephant in the room. Just because I look the part doesn't mean I have the ideology that you have, and doesn't mean that this video is going to be me justifying any weird behavior. So let's talk about this nonsense. What the hell? The American Eagle and Sydney Sweeney ad campaign is at best a really neglectful marketing scheme, or at worst, literally promoting eugenics, but either way, it's working out exactly how they planned. In this video, I'm going to be exploring this whole American Eagle Sydney Sweeney campaign because so many people believe it's been blown out of proportion, and listen. If you're new here to No BS Nat, this is where pop culture meets practical lessons. If that sounds good to you, be sure to like this video, subscribe, and let's just get straight into content.
So actress Sydney Sweeney launches a campaign selling jeans with American Eagle. A now deleted video for the campaign includes a sultry Sweeney looking at the camera as she buttons up her jeans, and she says, quote, "Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color." So at this point it's very obvious she's talking about genes with a G, genetic genes. Then she delivers the line, "My genes are blue," which appears to be a visual pun. She's no longer talking about her genetics, she's talking about her genes with a J. And then a male voice chimes in, "Sydney Sweeney has great genes." And it's a double entendre. They're talking about how Sydney Sweeney has great genetics and she's also now got a great pair of jeans to wear. So why has this sparked outrage? Well, critics are calling attention to the phrasing of great genes being delivered by and centered around a blonde, blue-eyed white woman. Some people think there is a sinister subliminal racial messaging here, essentially that they're trying to push an image of genetic purity, a narrative that a blonde white woman has superior genes. Critics have gone as far as to say that it's, quote, fascist propaganda, and that it's likening beauty standards to whiteness. People are even calling it a eugenics campaign. Eugenics is the belief that people can improve their genetic traits by controlling who has children and who doesn't. The Nazis famously used eugenics as a way of pushing the narrative that the Aryan race is superior. Of course, not everyone agrees. Some commentators on the other side have argued that this was a refreshing campaign that was unapologetic in stepping away from, quote, woke advertising.
People are mad not just over beauty standards, but the idea that there's good genes versus bad genes, because think about it. Sydney Sweeney is the classic American bombshell, and that's exactly what her brand thrives off of. She primarily appeals to the male gaze, especially when it comes to things like ad campaigns. So when it comes to American Eagle, not only does this ad just seem out of place, but it feels a little bit off. The target audience for this advertisement is for sure not women, because why would a woman want to buy jeans just because you have big boobs? Like, no one cares.
They are not trying to sell jeans to women. They are trying to sell stock to men. And it's working. Listen, I didn't get this either. I was like, what are they doing? This is not how you sell jeans to women. And then my boyfriend, who is into stocks, was like, oh, they know exactly what they're doing. They want to drive up the American Eagle stock. And who buys stock? Predominantly men. This right here is a screenshot from his phone where you can clearly see that that is exactly what's happening. Like, it doesn't get any more straightforward than this.
Hey y'all, editing me here, and I had this epiphany after I made this video, but I really wanted to say it. We are seeing the pendulum swing in real time. Just look at this ad campaign from 8 years ago when leftism was very much on the rise.
I don't really go through looks and what's in and not. I think some people take fashion too seriously. It comes down to happiness, right?
Now listen, I don't care what political party you believe. I just think it's so fascinating to see how brands will often adopt whatever political party is in office, because as much as we don't like to say it, the person who's in power often influences culture in ways that we don't even recognize. And that's precisely why with this ad campaign, it's very difficult for me to believe that they didn't think of these different ways it can be spun. I believe that it crossed their mind that it might have been interpreted in a eugenics sense, but I don't think they necessarily cared, because at the end of the day, in marketing, a controversial campaign can be a very effective campaign if done correctly. As someone who's literally studying marketing right now, it's so cool to see this play out, because the more people talk about it, the more American Eagle gets pushed out.
Are people overreacting to the Sydney Sweeney commercials?
What?
American Eagle paid a white woman to talk about how great her genes are.
Right, it's a double entendre. She has good genes because people think she's hot, and American Eagle is selling jeans.
It's a series of supremacist dog whistles, and in response, American Eagle's stock shot up 17%. Supremacists are feeling emboldened, and America is celebrating it.
I mean, the commercials feel icky for a number of reasons, but maybe this was just a series of stupid decisions.
There's one commercial in the series where she's talking about how her genes are handed down to her from her family.
Right, that's the double entendre.
Her MAGA family.
Yeah, I mean, the campaign is tone deaf, to say the least.
She said her genes are blue. Blue genes is a nod to eugenics.
They're also selling blue jeans. I've never actually heard of blue jeans.
She has blonde hair and blue eyes.
She also has pretty big stardom. American Eagle has a long history of using sex symbols to sell clothes.
Why are you choosing to defend this, of all things?
Oh, no, I'm not. Honestly, the commercials feel gross. It's just that I think this is more of a series of circumstantial mistakes that, when you put together, are insensitive and hurtful and could be read into.
That's what a dog whistle is. It's supposed to slip under the radar.
No, I get that. But this one in particular feels like one of those situations where some of the loudest people on the left are feeding the narrative that the left is out of touch with reality.
And listen, I'm not knocking her looks, I'm just knocking the way in which this ad was done, because we've seen this before for decades, even going back to Marilyn Monroe or Madonna. This ad isn't revolutionary or edgy, it's just a corporation using the easiest form of womanhood to sell denim, and that is the blonde Barbie. And this is something that's been done for decades. Brands will often weaponize femininity in order to gain clicks and sales. And let me make this clear, just because you cast a blonde girl doesn't mean you're only appealing to traditional standards of beauty, but in this scenario, when you use things like good genes, specifically when you're talking about jeans, people are going to think a certain way about it. However, it just feels kind of sad when we as women have to revert back to over-sexualization in order to get sales. I know marketing 101 is sex appeal, but at the end of the day, it does give a kind of, it just makes me feel icky. I don't know.
Liberals saw a white woman with blonde hair and blue eyes and thought she was ushering in the Fourth Reich.
They're now waging a war on hot chicks. It doesn't end good for a party that told us they didn't know what a chick was this time a year ago.
She is not Dylan Mulvaney. She's not a plus-size swim model on the cover of Sports Illustrated. She's not a male prom queen. She's a hot, beautiful, biological woman.
This post is basically just saying, oh, because Sydney Sweeney is hot, that's why people are mad, because we're not going to use a trans feminist or something for an American Eagle ad. And let me just say, nobody cares about that. Literally nobody is saying that you have to use people who aren't attractive in advertisements. At least that's not what I'm saying. I feel like at the end of the day, if you're a model, you have to be somewhat attractive. And the thing is, she didn't even have to do this angle for the ad. I understand it's her advertising team and so many people are behind her, but she at the end of the day has autonomy to choose what ads she will and will not do. They didn't have to take this route. And I'm gonna play a video that really opened my eyes on this.
American Eagle missed the mark. I can think of 300 ways that they could have done that way better and have it received way better, including Sydney Sweeney. Have her be a high school teacher teaching a class about genes, about genetics, and every single person in that class, including the teacher, is wearing American Eagle jeans. She literally could have said, genes are passed down from parents to offspring, determining hair color, eye color, and even personality. My genes are blue. And then have a student stand up and say, my jeans are camo, my jeans are black, my jeans are gray, my jeans are floral print. They would have been able to showcase 10, 11 pairs of jeans, different styles. My jeans are flared, my jeans are skinny, my jeans are baggy, my jeans are ripped. And then at that point, she could have said something, wow, we all have really good jeans. And then to end the commercial, she looks at one of the girls in the front row and says, those are cute jeans. And the girl goes, you're cute jeans.
Brands will weaponize femininity in order to sell a certain product, especially to men. The culture in general is shifting as well, whereas back in the 80s or 70s, women were more likely to be male-centered. Nowadays, women look at so many different things when it comes to purchasing from a name brand. They look at sustainability, inclusivity, brand signaling power, quality, and does the brand in general encourage me to be the best version of myself. But when it comes to hypersexualization, you're losing the female gaze, American Eagle. Like, you are losing your main demographic. And that's for a reason. And if we're being real, you guys, the female sex appeal will always be a go-to marketing tool for companies, and that's not inherently a bad thing. But Sydney Sweeney's entire brand is based on over-sexualization, and women aren't really for that. We're no longer going out of our way as women to find whatever model or actress our man finds sexy and then buy whatever products they have in order to keep the male gaze. We're buying products that make us feel sexy because they empower us. But for some reason, that's so hard for people to comprehend. No, it isn't just because Sydney Sweeney is hot. It's because the ad itself is just not landing to women anymore. We see through it. Okay? We see exactly what you're doing. People aren't blaming Sydney Sweeney because she's the male fantasy. They're blaming American Eagle because they know what they're doing. And if you just follow the money, it's very clear.
Why is she being pushed down our throats so hard? One thing behind pushing people are PR companies. What was the PR company behind this American Eagle ad? Shadow PR. This is Brad Seifman, who's the CEO of Shadow. Now, luckily I've been watching Brad for a while. What have his stories been like for the past 2 years? A lot of things about Shadow PR are making sense now. American Eagle themselves, after October 7th, put up a billboard in Times Square so that no one would be confused about where they stand. The CEO of American Eagle himself has given money to Netanyahu's campaign, super PACs for Republicans, and his sisters tried to sue him for how he's been allocating business funds.
As women, we are often watered down to our sex appeal because of our culture. All right, so if you're a woman, my best advice for you is to focus on yourself and to not value a man's opinion over what you think of yourself. Men will always be lustful creatures. We've been known this, but just don't end up like a Sydney Sweeney who glorifies a man's opinion so much so that her entire persona is just based off of male validation. We have been conditioned so deeply as women to tie our desirability to our worth, and it's okay to want to be desired. I'm not gonna knock you for that, but learn from Sydney Sweeney that your sex appeal isn't necessarily empowerment. It's adaptation in a world built for the male gaze. And we see this tangibly play out in the culture today when people criticize women for wearing certain things. I made an entire video about how people were freaking out about gym shorts and how men were sexualizing women for literally just going to the gym. Not saying that some people don't do the most, but just saying that the regular gym shorts that are just biker shorts is honestly a little bit of policing women at the end of the day, and women will always be critiqued for things, but Sydney didn't create the system. She's just benefiting from it in a very strategic way. And any woman with the nuance to understand that in this scenario, over-sexualization is just a marketing tool for men to profit, would understand to take the lesson out of this to remember to stop centering men in your life. Last but not least, I want to talk about how the over-intellectualization of this type of content kind of has led to a lot of people misinterpreting what the point actually is of people getting mad at the Sydney Sweeney ad. Like, for example, let me just show you a couple videos.
Don't forget to boycott American Eagle for their racist shit online, talking about blue jeans and white people. Boycott American Eagle. Boycott the shit out of them. Boycott American Eagle. Do not buy them. And cancel this person, Miss Sweeney. Cancel for her being racist, for doing Nazi propaganda. Cancel American Eagle.
Like, okay, stop acting crazy. If a Sydney Sweeney ad campaign is enough for you to go outside of American Eagle and protest and yell at people to stop supporting American Eagle, you need to touch some grass. I'm not saying that to be mean, I'm just saying there's bigger problems in the world. At the end of the day, people are still gonna shop at American Eagle. In fact, I guess they're doing great because of their stock prices. Don't allow the internet to impact how you treat real people in the real world, because not everyone thinks the way you think, because it can be easy to see things like this and assume that one specific race or culture is the problem, but the real problem are the people at the very top. With that being said, besties, please let me know down in the comments what you think about this. What did I miss? And if you like this video, please make sure to subscribe and like this video. With that being said, you guys, my camera just died, so let me know down in the comments what other videos you'd like to see from me. And until next time, I love you guys.